Let's take a look at how to set up and use Kids Mode on your Galaxy S7. So what we need to do is open up our apps, come into our Samsung folder, and then go to Galaxy Apps. What we need to do now is search the Galaxy Apps App Store for Kids Mode. Notice I've already searched for it, but you'll have to type it in here at the top of the menu. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on Kids Mode, and we're going to tap on the one that's up at the top of the screen, the one with the dinosaur icon. Now this used to come pre-installed on Samsung devices, but with the S7 and the S7 Edge it does not. So you will need to come in here and actually download it. So tapping install will download the app. It's a fairly small install, but once it's done installing, we're going to have to download another update directly through the Kids Mode app. What's going to be cool about this is going to restrict our device for our children so they can use specific apps, actually call specific contacts, take cool photos with the actual Kids Mode camera. We're going to go through that. So tap on open. It's going to open this. We need to allow it to access our contacts so our children can either call or message our contacts, and we can actually set that up. Deny or allow. We can access media files, photos, so that way they can take photos and save them on the actual device, and then allow them to manage phone calls, so that way they can call contacts that we allow them to. And so once it's done, we're going to also have to consent to provide diagnostic and usage data. So if you don't want to provide that, I would not suggest using Kids Mode, but if that's okay with you, go ahead and tap OK. Now it's going to give you this brief overview of Kids Mode. We're going to need to set up a PIN. It's going to disable in-app purchasing. So that way if any app you download does have in-app purchases, they'll no longer be allowed. We can have fun dressing up characters and using animations, and it's going to provide a safe and fun environment. So tapping install will download that internal update that I mentioned earlier, and this is still a fairly small update. The only part of this process that does take a while is once it's downloaded that update, it's going to install. This took less than a minute for me at some times and a couple minutes at other times, so it just kind of varies. And so once it's done installing, we're going to be able to set it up for our children. So we'll go ahead and come back to that screen once it's ready. Now that it's ready, we'll tap Let's Get Started. And now we're going to have to create a PIN. I suggest using something that your children can't guess, because if they find this PIN and they are able to guess it, they'll be able to exit Kids Mode. So go ahead and set something up that's more secure than what I'm doing. I'm just doing this for testing purposes. So once we have our PIN, we'll be able to give our child a profile. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a profile. So here is the name. I can tap on that plus button to actually enter in an image that I've taken with my device, take a picture, or even use clip art. I'm just going to go ahead and use clip art for this one, and I'm going to choose this blue funky looking moose right there. I'll choose my child's date of birth, so let's just go ahead and say it was August 28th of 2010. So now we'll tap done, and now it's obviously a male. And I can create more profiles. I can have up to 6, so I can create effectively 6 children profiles on this device using Kids Mode. Tap next, and now we're going to be able to add contacts. These are the contacts that my child is allowed to communicate with. So I can actually pick and choose from my direct list of contacts. So all I have to do is tap on the check mark and search through my contacts for who I want them to be able to talk to. And once I've done that, all I have to do is then, from there, just tap next, and it's going to take me into the next screen. So the applications may be offered by third parties. So this is a consent to actually downloading apps from either the Google Play Store or the Samsung Galaxy Store. So we'll tap accept, and I'm going to be able to give my child access to apps that are on my device. So these are apps that I've downloaded directly from the Google Play Store or from other actual marketplaces as well. So these are all the apps on my device. I've selected the ones I want my children to have access to. So you see I've selected 3 apps. It says so in the top left hand corner, and I'll tap next. My permission is required to access certain functions in the applications, and that will be where I need to enter my PIN that we set up in the beginning. Go ahead and tap next, and now our profile has been created, so we'll tap finish. Now this is the Kids Mode home screen. We'll go ahead and dismiss that overlay. I'm going to show you how it works. Up in the top left hand corner, that cool funky little icon with the phone as a mustache, that's our dialer. So here's the dialer for the children. They can actually access the contacts here and contact only those specific applications that I've set up. I have the camera here, so we'll tap on the camera. We need to give them access to actually make it SMS messages, actually access the media, to record audio, and even to make phone calls. So all this happens right within the camera. Now what's kind of cool is if we flip over the front-facing camera and actually tap in the top left-hand corner, we have some stickers that we can overlay on the camera. And this is actually really cool because it detects my eyes, and notice now it's overlaid me with some glasses. So that's cool. You can come in here and do different effects as well. So here I have like a mirroring effect. Now you can even apply some hats to myself and some kind of portrait, almost like Snapchat reminiscent of. And so now we'll just tap the back button and come back. In the top right hand corner, with any images they take, we'll need to allow them to do that. This will actually allow them to see all the images they've taken here. Now all the other ones, you see little download icons, those are different apps you're going to download from the Samsung Galaxy Apps App Store. And the way that you can access this is the shopping bag here. This will take them to just the kids section only of the Galaxy apps. And they'll be able to find apps, and you can even help them find apps that they can use in the kids mode. The ones that have little presents, if I tap on those are the apps that I have allowed my child to use here on the device. Swiping over to the left will actually open up PBS Kids. So this is going to open up a video, and my child will be able to use PBS Kids. Tapping on the settings, I'll need to enter my parental controls. I can choose and find pictures and videos, drawings and charts. I can actually manage a daily playtime limit. So for this specific profile, I can time them to a half hour per day, or I can actually tap on this time limit and even tap the settings, and I can choose how long I want them to use it per day. So that way that'll effectively lock down their profile once they've reached that time limit. And I can even set a time limit for the weekends. So notice this is weekends and weekdays. On the contacts, I can come in here and add or remove contacts from what I've set up in the beginning. Same thing with apps, I can add or remove apps. Media, I can see any media they've taken, music, and then also the kids store. So the kids store is where I can actually come in here and search for apps. Now if I tap on more in the top right hand corner, I can manage profiles. So I can either add or delete profiles. Tapping add will take me through that profile creation that we did in the beginning, and then delete will allow me to select a profile and then delete it. And if I delete the one that I've already created, it'll effectively allow me to go through the setup process again. Tapping more up there again, I can close kids modes, or I can tap on settings, and I can see that these are the settings for my profiles. I can change my PIN, change my storage location, reset all settings, check for updates, and view all my legal information down below. So the way that you actually effectively exit kids mode, notice if I even pull down the notification panel, I cannot do that. And in the top left hand corner, I see a little kid's face. That lets me know I'm in kids mode. And I can tap in the bottom right hand corner, this little open door, enter my PIN, and it's going to bring me back to my home screen. Now you can also set the kids mode as a launcher. So if I tap on my home button, notice I'm brought back just to my regular launcher. But if I come into the settings, and if I were to come into my applications and my default apps, you'll notice in the home screen section, I can actually use kids mode as a custom launcher. So if you were going to give your phone to your child for a little while, setting kids mode might help, because if they click the home button, that way they don't end up trying to get anywhere that's not supposed to be. You'll also notice in your app drawer, the kids mode is now the icon that is the most recent. And if I tap on kids mode, it's going to enter into that mode. And notice if I click my home button here, nothing happens. The multitasking button does nothing, and also the back button does nothing. So your child is effectively locked into this mode until you hit that home button and enter in your passcode. So that is how you use kids mode on your S7 and S7 Edge. For more videos like this, be sure and subscribe to State of Tech, and we'll see you in the next video.